Killing me with kindness. Jay.
Week 4 in the National Football League. It's underway. It all started last night for the Thursday Nighter that you saw on TSN. And we're going to recap it for you here on SportsCenter with Jay and Dan, presented by Tim Hortons.
What a matchup.
Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one for ratings.
And what a backdrop for a game. You got Lambeau, crisp autumn evening.
A healthy Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, it's the Eagles and the undefeated Packers. Green Bay's won 4 of their last 5 on Thursday night. Packers' first offensive play. Aaron Rodgers to Jamal Williams. And, wait for it, just crunched. Derek Barnett in late with a head blow. Barnett got flagged 15 yards for unnecessary roughness. Stretcher is out for Williams. Hate to see that. Barnett, he comes over to apologize. He was stretchered off. The Packers said he had feeling and movement in all his extremities and raises his arm to the crowd as he left. All good news. Second quarter, Eagles down 10. Carson Wentz. It's Alshon Jeffrey for the touchdown. Flag on Zach Ertz for offensive pass interference. Play under review. It was overturned. Touchdown is good. Eagles are on the board after Philly took the lead. Barnett gets to Rodgers. Strips him. Brandon Graham recovers for the Eagles. Led to a touchdown. 21-13 Eagles at Lambeau. Time running out in the half. Rodgers to Geronimo Allison. And that'll move the sticks. Green Bay hurrying up after a spike. Rodgers scrambles. Hits a wide open Allison. The Packers, huge response in the final minute of the half. Crazy second quarter. Eagles up 1, 21-20 at the break. Third quarter. Wentz to Jordan Howard. And saunters in for a touchdown. After a missed 2-point convert, Eagles on top, 27-20. Rodgers blitzed, still hits Jimmy Graham. Packers tie it at 27. Fourth quarter, after the Eagles went ahead a touchdown, Green Bay 3rd and 6. Rodgers to Devontae Adams, a career-high 180 yards receiving. He was grabbing his toe after the play, didn't return to the game, and the Packers didn't score on the drive. Packers, 2nd and goal, trailing by a touchdown with seconds to go.
Second down in the air and picked off by Braddock. Philadelphia will take over.
That could have been pass interference, but no, they didn't challenge. There was no flag. The Eagles, what a road win. They moved to 2-2. Jordan Howard liked the lights of Thursday night. It's just the second visiting player in Lambeau Field history with 2 rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown against the Packers. And a big 115-yard game after picking up just 118 total yards and 1 touchdown in his first 3 games of the season.
Dan, I'm here now. Wonder what it was like when Oilers head coach Dave Tippett found out that Connor McDavid was going to be available for Thursday's preseason game against Winnipeg. It was probably like that moment on yesterday's show when I opened a pack of Tim Hortons hockey cards and got this. Oh, boomsies! Oh, boy!
We got some big guns.
Oh, mama, that's a good one. That was a good moment. Got my McDavid. Second appearance of the preseason in the peg. Oh, off the iron. Working his way back from a knee injury suffered in the last game of last season. And he and Nick Ehlers get tangled up. Probably not 2 guys you think of when you think of extreme physical play. Still scoreless midway through the first. C.J. Cease, whose last name is spelled like Dr. Seuss, with the goal in the Oilers Twitter account because his last name is spelled like Dr. Seuss. Twitter is also in the preseason. Back to McDavid, 1-1 in the second. James Neal spots McDavid, easy goal. Neal and McDavid worked out together with Gary Roberts in the offseason. 2-1 Oil drops. Dying seconds of the period. McDavid can't beat Connor Hellebuck. Connor McDavid a goal in just over 20 minutes of ice time. This is interesting. Mark Letestu, former Oiler, sucking down a packet of mustard. According to producer Tim, this is to help with cramping. This mustard pickle juice, he said. Producer Tim, an expert in cramping. Now 3-all. Tomas Jurko. How about that? Second of the night, trying to make this Oiler team as they win in the peg. 5-3.
Makes sense because producer Tim cramps our style every show. Yotes Canucks, Michael Ferland expecting to play with Elias Pettersson on Vancouver's top line this year. Very first shift. Pettersson starts the cycle. Ferland scores. Ferland playing his first game in 10 days. He had an illness. Adam Gaudette coming in with 5 points in 5 preseason games. He should be making this team, but they don't know if he makes it, who they can send down, because they'd have to clear waivers. Perfect no-look feed to Zach McEwen. Gaudette continues his points per game pace in the preseason. You got to keep this guy, right? Right? Yotes leading in the third.
Guess who made his preseason debut after undergoing off-season groin surgery? Erik Karlsson. There he is for your San Jose Sharks. New contract, nice moves. Finds Kevin Labanc. Eventually, Kevin Labanc gets the puck, but he's stopped by Cam Talbot. Minutes later, Karlsson's side of the net. Puck bounces off the top of the net. Karlsson has to bat it away with his glove. Not much action in the first, other than this awkward moment for this couple. The guy goes for the kiss. Mom goes to kiss the baby. Good stuff, Mom. Rasmus Anderson. Oh, Martin Jones. Nice save there. No score. They're in the second. That guy's playing the organ.
Some things in life are just not supposed to happen. Like cilantro on anything doesn't work. And in sports, when your best player goes down to injury, you're not supposed to do well. Well, cilantro doesn't listen. It still ends up on stuff, and the Brewers don't listen either. Christian Yelich was lost for the season 2.5 weeks ago, yet without the MVP, the Brewers have gotten better. Less than a month ago, they were 5 back in the wild card. Now, not only do they have a wild card spot, but they may even win the division.
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball down on the way. And there's no
Just trying to find. Oh yeah, we got Marty Brenneman calling his final game for the Reds after a 46-year career. The Brewers broadcasters let him take over for an at-bat in the first, and this happened.
If you can keep that motivation working, you can play a long time. Here is a high, deep drive down the left field line. If it's fair, it's good, and it is, and it is. Wow. High, towering drive that made it into the second deck in left field.
Well, that'll be enough of that. Was that Marty? Was he actually on? Marty Brenneman calling a home run in the first inning. Timing was impeccable, but we don't want to see any more of those home runs. But
yep, voice of the Reds. Milwaukee, they won 17 of their last 19 en route to clinching a postseason spot on Wednesday. So, as mentioned, they're just a game and a half back of the NL Central leading Cards. Top 4 bases loaded, 2 out. Orlando Arcia liner. Josh Van Meter running, bobbles, drops. Arcia with a 3-run double. Milwaukee wins their 7th straight. They're now just 1 game back of the idle Cards with 3 to play. And to put a bow on it, on Brenneman's career, all the Reds players saluting him as the voice of the Reds says goodbye.
I wonder if that'll happen for us when we retire. Everyone will be in the studio saluting us. The old bubble gum on the cap trick. Adam Eaton has no idea. Nats have already clinched the wild card spot. Question is, will it be the top wild card spot? Bottom one, Jan Gomes. Robbed of a home run by Adam Paisley. And you know who appreciates that? The very intense Jason Vargas. Back to Eaton, 3rd inning. Max Scherzer chatting with him, and the gum has deflated. Still, he doesn't know. Then later, notices something on a shoot. Brian Dozier is sitting down and laughing at him.
Still doesn't know there's gum on his hand.
And now he's looking over at him, still laughing. And finally, he said, "What? Are you kids. And then there's a headlock. And this is the kind of fun hijinks you can have when you've already locked down a postseason berth. Steven Strasburg, he's in postseason form already. 10 strikeouts in this one. He gets his former teammate Bryce Harper there. And he also gets a long group hug from his teammates. This is how we end every edition of SportsCenter with Jay and Dan. The entire crew comes together for a hug like that. And producer Tim is right in the middle, getting all of it. So the Nats and Brewers both win, meaning Washington's still a game up on the Brew Crew for the top wildcard spot in the Central. Yeah, as Dan mentioned, Milwaukee still has a great chance to catch the card.
Hey, Indians, White Sox. Cleveland needs some help to make it to the AL wildcard game. They're a game and a half behind the Rays, bottom 4. James McCann. Who are you to say? It's 18th of the year, 3-run shot. Very next pitch.
Daniel Palka to the plate, and he crushes the ball to deep right field. Goodbye.
Back to Becky, tappy. 5-0 Sox. Fifth inning. It's not 5-0. It's 4-0. Oh boy, it's the last show of the week. Give me a break.
We forgot to mention it was mailing in.
We had a game go to 19 innings this week.
Yeah.
Felix Hernandez making what will likely be his last start as a Seattle Mariner after 15 years with the team. King Felix clearly emotional as he walks out of the bullpen at Safeco. Final year of his contract. King Felix leads the franchise in nearly every pitching category. Top 3. The King's Court still rocking on every pitch. Hernandez sits Chad Pinder for the final out of the inning. Turns and points. Look at this. Look at this.
What a great reaction.
Yes, what a great reaction. Top 5. Hernandez at over 100 pitches, trying to get out of the inning.
It is Chad Pinder.
Dylan Moore, awkward, but it worked. Robs Pinder of a hit.
Incredible play. It was so important for him to finish that inning. And I'm sure that was part of
Great moment for King Felix in Seattle. Okay, so Cleveland mentioned how they're in a world of hurt. 2 games back of the Rays for the final wild card spot. The Rays' last 3 games are in Toronto. Cleveland closing with 3 in Washington. Oakland's last 4 against those Mariners who you just saw. Still to come, the biggest game this year is going to feature one of music's biggest stars. Find out who will be performing at this year's Grey Cup in Calgary. Next. Tea in the can.
I like to drink my tea on the John.
Minnesota looking to become the first team in MLB history to hit 300 home runs in a single season. Top 7 man on for Jonathan Scope. Twins become the first team in MLB history to hit 300 home runs. They hit another, so they bring their total to 301 on the season, and they win. This is an interesting one. Rangers, Red Sox. Texas starter Mike Minor. He's pitching into the 8th because he's 1 strikeout away from 200 for the year. He's never accomplished that in his career. Brock Holt swings at the first pitch. Grounds out. The Red Sox don't want him to get 200. Next batter, Gorkys Hernandez. First pitch, yep, swinging. Grounds out to short for the second out. The Rangers found this odd because the Red Sox are down 2 and they're swinging at the first pitch every time as Minor looks for his 200th. And then Jackie Bradley Jr. swings at the first pitch again.
And it's popped up.
Pops out to end the inning.
This is going to be
so Minor's at a career-high 120 pitches at this point. His manager, Chris Woodward, tells him, yeah, you're going out for the 9th. Why not? First batter flew out, so Minor's still searching for that 200th strikeout.
And popped up. And a play for Guzman in foul ground, and it's going to drop.
He told him to drop it.
Yeah.
Book it. He ran over that line. I guarantee you. Drop it. I got a 1-2 count.
Yeah, it didn't appear to. Minor did tell him, let it drop because it was a foul ball, so it's strike 2.
This was on purpose.
Very next pitch.
Yep, just gave up on it.
All right, the 1-2. That is number 200. Minor gets to 200 strikeouts in the 9th inning.
Miner admitted it was a borderline strike. He threw 126 pitches. The Red Sox, not impressed with how it went down.
I think Cora was over there telling guys to just swing first pitch. So, you know, we had that fly ball here. I know the fans didn't understand, but we were yelling, telling Guzzi to drop it because there's going to be 2 strikes. And then
who ordered the code red?
I started yelling at him. I think Trevi did too, but, you know, we ended up getting him, CB rang him up on probably a borderline pitch there. And then we got the 200, so.
Yeah, and then Cora said, hey, all I know is we got guys over here who play baseball the right way.
Whoa!
I know, come on, it's the last.
Who cares? We got some problems back there?
Yeah, my mic thing fell.
All right, let's walk over. This is our official walkover segment. I think it's going pretty well.
Hey, some devastating news for the Blue Bombers, as the team announced that quarterback Mac Nichols is officially out for the rest of the season with a shoulder injury. He suffered it back on week 10. Nichols had surgery on Thursday to repair the shoulder. Team initially hoped that he'd return after 6 weeks of rehab, but determined surgery was needed. So Chris Strebler will make his 5th straight start Friday when Winnipeg hosts the Tabbies Bombers, 2-2 since Nichols went down.
Yes, and I believe that Nichols is a free agent at the end of the season, so this will be interesting. And then Strebler, big boy, runs like the wind. He's wild to watch out there.
When you said big boy, that's what my daughter calls our boy cat. She goes, big boy.
Boy cat.
What else do you call it? Ron.
Is that
big
the cat's
boy.
name?
Yes.
Ron the big cat. Big boy cat. Our boy cat. Sorry. Zach Collaros. He's in the final week of his stint on the 6-game injured list. Collaros was practicing with the Argos on Thursday, but he's ineligible to be on the game day roster Saturday. James Franklin will get the start against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. His first start since July the 27th. Collaros never played a full 18-game season in the CFL.
Unfortunately, this season, and you know, I've been on the 6th game, and you know, you don't really feel like you're a part of the team, and so being back out there was nice. Frustrating for sure. I mean, I wish I could figure a better word out than that for it. I'm sure you could. You're pretty eloquent, Matt. But yeah, you know, you work all off season. You know, come back to a place and you know where you feel like you get some unfinished business, and you know, 3 plays in, it's taken away from you. Then you're traded, and you know, back on the 6th game. So, yeah, it's not the way I envisioned the season. It's frustrating. It hurts for sure.
Took that big hit from Simone Lawrence. First game of the season, opening drive of the season, and you know, Cody Fajardo just takes over at Saskatchewan. Looks great. They trade him to the Argos. You'd like to see him come back because he's a really talented
Just want him to
player.
be healthy.
And the one thing he was wrong about. Matthew Shinetti, not eloquent.
No.
Not at all. The Argos will be part of our triple header of CFL action this Saturday. It all begins at 4 Eastern as the Eskimos visit the Red Blacks. Then it is Franklin and the Argos hosting the Rough Riders for our live mic game. And then Week 16 ends with the Owls and Lions. It's all right here on TSN.
How about this? Country music star Keith Urban's going to headline this year's 107th Grey Cup halftime show in Calgary. Urban sold over 20 million albums. 4-time Grammy Award winner. He likes hockey.
Yeah.
Likes the Grey Cup.
So that means Nicole Kidman will be in Calgary for the Grey Cup. And the other thing is he said, you know, Canadians love Australians. That's true because the second choice for the halftime act was the Wiggles.
That's right.
They're touring Canada as we speak. They're in Atlantic Canada.
You always have surprise guests.
Wiggles. Boom. Emma, Lucky Simon, and Anthony, too. The halftime performers for Super Bowl 54 have been named. It's the Wiggles. No, it's A-Rod and J-Lo. No, it's J-Lo and Shakira. They will headline at Miami's Hard Rock Stadium, February 22nd, 2020. Other performers should be added over the next few months. Take a guess. Who do you think might be added to this Miami Super Bowl
Easily
bill?
Pitbull.
He's going to be there for sure.
He's Mr. Worldwide.
Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine, I would think. They reunite.
Mm-hmm.
How about Jan Hammer, who did the Miami Vice theme.
Okay.
Okay.
How about
can we hear a little of that?
How about J-Lo's former husband?
Oh, Mark Anthony.
Yes.
Yeah, he would be good. And, of course, Mr. Miami himself, Jimmy Buffett.
And they announced that on Your Morning.
That's where they announced that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now they.
So, okay. Well, that was a late one. Let's try it again. Oh.
Chargers running back Melvin Gordon ended his 64-day holdout with the team Thursday. Head coach Anthony Lynn said Gordon will practice Thursday and Friday, but doesn't expect him to play on Sunday against the Dolphins. Gordon's teammate Keenan Allen pretty excited to see him when he arrived at the Chargers facility.
Hold on, y'all. Oh, came back with his shoulder pads and helmet. Yeah! Yeah! What they do?
Mike Garafolo.
NFL Network star reporter Mike Garafolo.
There's a nicer guy on the planet than our NFL insider Mike Garafolo.
Let's bring him in. There he is, Mike. So 3 weeks into the season, Gordon ends his holdout. What does this mean to the running back market and more specifically to his own long-term contract?
Well, it means he's slated to be a free agent now at the end of the season. I'm not quite sure what this holdout was about, guys, to be honest with you. I don't know what he gained from it. I do know he has 2 agents, and the agent that's been in the business longer, his name's Fletcher Smith. From what I gather, he was the one that was pushing for the holdout. The other agent, by the name of Demarius Bilbo, was playing really good cop with the Chargers and trying to get this thing done and get him back. I don't know what Smith saw here, what he thought was going to be accomplished, but Melvin Gordon lost a bunch of money to fines and to salary forfeitures here, and he's only making $5.5 million this year. I say only because he took a chunk into that. We don't know what the final, teams can always knock those fines down, so we don't know what the final number wound up being, but Melvin Gordon really didn't do himself much good, at least in the short term. But at least he's back and ready to play football and going to be the starter at some point once he does return to action. Doesn't look like it'll be this weekend, though.
Let's stay with running backs. Mike, Saquon Barkley, the good news, no surgery on that ankle. The bad news, he's out 4 to 6 weeks. So I don't know how you replace Saquon Barkley. Can you give us any suggestions?
Wayne Gallman is my best suggestion. He's the backup running back for the Giants, going to be thrust into a lead role, but he does not run with the explosiveness, the power, the agility, the elusiveness of Saquon Barkley, the ability to take it to the house at any point. That's what Saquon Barkley brings you. You're not going to get that from Gallman. So if you're the Giants, you lean on the arm of Daniel Jones here. And I will say this, though. They are getting Golden Tate back. After one more game, his PED suspension will be up. And what he does in the passing game is sometimes kind of a glorified running game. A lot of short stuff that you can hit him and then catch and run. So they're hopeful, at least for those 3, 4, 5 games that they have Tate without Barkley, that he'll provide a little bit of that stuff there.
We were thrilled to have you on the show today, Mike. I got to tell you, you're a terrific journalist.
Thank you very much. That is by far the nicest thing you've ever said.
I mean it.
I think he caught him off guard. Look at this. Bills Nation. It's a party on Sunday, and we're hosting it.
Producer Tim is absolutely jacked for that game. Huge Bills fan.
That's right. He's done 7 table jumps just today.
Producer Tim ordered a bunch of new tables into the studio. Dan, our old friend and Jay and Dan podcast favorite Peter Schrager was part of the Thursday Nighter pregame show.
That's Schrags had some key information about how new Giants starter Daniel Jones spent the day after his first NFL win, and it's pretty wild. It's time for
Schrager bombs. He had Chipotle and did his laundry. Schrager bombs.
You usually have to do your laundry after eating Chipotle.
Man, it's great to have Schrager back on the show. Well, since television cameras have been allowed in locker rooms for pre- and post-game interviews, reporters have been caught lingering in the background looking for the best sound bites.
Well, we went into the deep archives and present you a special edition of We've never done this. It's retro scrum lurkers.
I'm just very proud of him, and I'm excited that they won the championship.
Man, the deep archives did not disappoint.
Big Red controls the deep archives. Retro scrum lurkers.
Oh, man, that was awesome. This show got a lot better, right?
It did.
It really did. When we come back, I'll discuss my drive-through order, and Dan will get lost. It'll all happen during the Jannies. Lighten up a bit. It's Friday. It's our favorite and least favorite plays of the day, and producer Tim's favorite segment in the show, the Yannies, named after Yan Gomes, who here is robbed of a home run by Adam Hazley.
Jets forward, CJ, cease and desist. That's the puck. Out of midair, scores. Cease and desist.
It's good. Will Smith, soon starring in Gemini Man. Luis Urias, ranging deep into the hole, making the strong throw for the out. Gemini Man.
Vancouver's Adam Gaudette doing everything he can to make the Canucks. Look at that feed. Behind the back, he knew exactly where he was putting it. McEwen scores.
Chad Pinder, laser to left. Dylan Moore. And that is on what will likely be King Felix Hernandez's last start in Seattle. Contract up at the end of the season, not going to resign.
And how about this catch by Houston's Jack Mayfield? Jack Mayfield rounding out the Jannies.
When we come back, we emerge from the basement with all the day's NHL news. Because that's what Mark Bergevin said. We're in the basement.
Okay. Nolan Patrick's been diagnosed with a migraine disorder and won't be ready for the start of the season. Second overall pick from 2017, hadn't participated in training camp practices or preseason games. In 72 appearances with Philly last season, Patrick had 13 goals and 18 assists. GM Chuck Fletcher says Patrick won't make the team's trip to Europe for Monday's preseason game in Switzerland or the season opener against the Blackhawks, which is in Prague, October 4th.
Mike Johnson, who's on the show this week, will be there calling that game. Nolan Patrick was such a star out of junior with Brandon, and just hasn't worked out so far. But migraines are that's one thing
that's terrifying.
It's just the worst because you can't really.
Hockey card season's back.
Yes, this is so fun.
Across Canada, you can purchase a pack of Tim Hortons NHL trading cards for $1 with the purchase of any qualifying beverage, or $1.99 without a beverage. Let's open them up.
Okay, so you're
Thanks to Timmy's for putting our cards in.
Yeah, sincere thank you to Tim Hortons for making us check out our Twitter and Instagram accounts at Jay and Dan. You'll see the cards they made for us.
Okay, who do we got there?
Whoa, Binnington!
The Binner!
Yowzies! Whoa,
Luc Dubois! And Patty Kane.
Wow, you got some good ones there, Toolsy.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. How about this one? Who's going to get this one? Oh, this is okay. Here we go, Troy. And who do we have? Whoa!
Kopitar, friend of SportsCenter with Jay and Dan.
Good friend of SportsCenter with Jay and Dan. Again with Austin Matthews. Wow. Again, 3 days in a row. Timing not ideal. And Austin Matthews' favorite player, Brad Marchand. Wow, these are some good cards we've been getting.
That's right. So make sure you pick some up this weekend. Put them in your spokes of your bike. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah. You put them in the spokes. I don't know how.
I
think this is a double, this Austin Matthews I have. Okay. So maybe someone else should trade it.
Still to come.
It's the worst play of the day. AJ Pollock swings, and there goes the bat.
That is coming right back at you wherever you're sitting watching this one.
There it goes.
Work for a lot of people.
Highlight of the night, Adam Gaudette. Great vision. Keep him up. Keep him up. Keep him up.
That was nice.
Yeah. John Shorthouse on the call.
Jordy.
Good guy.
Never met him. Except for our popular You Blew It segment where we point out our errors. You saw the highlight of the night. I said it would be the bicycle kick in soccer, so I was wrong. You called Bills Mafia Bills Nation. You were very hard on yourself for messing up the A block of the show. And who names a boy cat Ron?
So they're a brother and sister. So we needed a brother and sister name. So my daughters named them Ron and Ginny Weasley. So Ron and Ginny.
Right. Here's some popular boy cat names that Andrew Zwarch got for you. Oliver, Leo, Charlie, Milo, Max, Jack, George, Simon,
All right, one chip challenge, let's go. Can't be that bad, can it? Fine so far. Will it kick in, I wonder?
Is that video? Oh, the best part about that is that video was labeled Dan's boing tape.
I think it's a little bit now.
Plays of the Week time, and to introduce the Plays of the Week are two new interns, Sam and Archibald.
No, it's Bradshaw and Caleb. I'm Caleb. That does kick in later. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Good times. All the way.